Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to the Terror in the Isles Challenge. This is a segment I'm doing with my good buddy, Joe the Horror Man, where we're going to examine films from Terror in the Isles. Not only the theatrical cut, but the television cut as well. Today we're going to be talking about Jaws 2. Jaws 2 is a 1978 film which runs approximately 116 minutes and is directed by Janae Zwark. Now he was responsible for Somewhere in Time, Honor Bound, and Bug. Now this stars Roy Scheider as Brody. He passed away on February 10th, 2008 at the age of 75. He was in 52 Pickup, Loving, and Clute. Lorraine Gary as Ellen. She was in 1941, 0 to 60, and Car Wash. And Murray Hamilton as Mayor Vaughn. He passed away on September 1st, 1986 at the age of 63. He was in The Graduate, 1941, and Damnation Alley. Now the budget on this film was $20 million, and this had a worldwide gross of $188 million. That's a lot. It was the highest grossing sequel ever until Rocky II came out in 1979, I believe. And the helicopter scene took 4 days to shoot. Yeah. Alright. Jaws 2. Again, we have a very, very simple plot in Jaws 2. A great white shark comes back and terrorizes the townspeople of Amity. And I believe it's like 5 or 6 years after the events of the first Jaws took place. Of course, it's not the same shark because they blew that one up in the first one. But you have returning characters. You have Roy Scheider. You have Lorraine Gary as Ellen. You have Murray Hamilton as Larry Vaughn, the mayor. I think the one thing this movie is missing is Hooper. You can't obviously have Quint back because he died in the first one, unless he were to come back as like a Force ghost or something. I don't see that happening. But maybe if it was Steven Spielberg directing it, it would have happened. Who knows? Um, like I said, I think it would have been a perfect movie if Richard Dreyfuss came back. But they do actually mention him in the story. This is actually a really good movie. Now, I originally saw this on cable back in the early 80s. Loved it so much that I ended up getting it on CED video disc. And I'll never forget, it said, because it's a very edge of your seat type movie. And in my opinion, has definitely a better pace than the original. The thing about Jaws 2, is it said on the bottom, I mean, it's rated PG, of course, but it said sequences may be too intense for younger viewers. If I can find a picture of that, I'll post it up there. But that actually used to be on the back of the CED video disc. And I've always loved Jaws 2. I consider it, much like what Joe considers it, a shark slasher movie. That's basically what it is. Yeah, this one's awesome. Fantastic movie. Like Psycho 2 and Halloween 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, just fantastic sequels that we got back in the 80s and the late 70s. All right, I'm going to get to my relatable recommendation. And it's actually going to be a movie that got taken out of the theaters for being too much like Jaws and Jaws 2. And that is The Last Shark. This is an Italian rip-off movie, which came out in the theaters as Great White. Now, I was fortunate enough to see this in the theaters. I begged my father to take me to see it, and he did. And shortly after that, it got pulled from the theaters. I actually did a My Horror Story on Great White, so check it out. It's in my playlist. But I always felt like it was kind of, and this was actually the one sheet for it. It was called Great White. It wasn't called The Last Shark. Of course, when they started producing um, DVDs and all that kind of stuff, they had to call it something different, so they didn't get sued by Universal. So it was called The Last Shark, Son of Jaws. They had a whole bunch of other names, but this is what I know it as. And it's an Italian ripoff. It's fun, it's cheesy, and it kind of incorporates both Jaws and Jaws 2 as the ripoff sort of element. But it probably follows Jaws 2 closer. So yeah. Um, Check out The Last Shark. I do believe it's on YouTube for free, I think, because that's where I originally saw it again before they started making it on DVD. This is actually a made on demand, and I think I got it from Walmart.com, I think, years ago. And don't forget to check out Jaws 2 as well. It's a fantastic film. Definitely one of the better sequels ever made. And don't forget to check out Joe's review and see what he picked as a recommendation. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.